Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and the island of Taiwan has simply disappeared from the global supply chain. This means it has stopped making computer parts for the world. This is a very scary thought. If Taiwan stopped, huge problems would start very quickly, in just a few weeks. For example, there would be no new iPhones. The development of new AI, which is like smart computer brains, would completely stop. The world economy would face a giant shock, losing about $10 trillion. This amount of money is much bigger than what the world lost during the COVID-19 pandemic or the big money problem in 2008. This is not just a wild story from a movie. It shows how much the world relies on this one place. This book explains why. Taiwan is a small island with 23 million people, even smaller than the Netherlands. Yet it produces more than 90% of the world's most advanced computer chips. These tiny chips are essential for everything from your smartphone to powerful AI systems. This fact alone is one of the most important economic facts today. Understanding why Taiwan holds this key position is crucial. Why can't other countries easily make these chips? Who benefits from Taiwan's work? And what would happen if something went wrong there? These are the big questions we will look at. The shocking number is that 90% of these special chips come from Taiwan. This shows us that this is not just about new gadgets or software. It is a survival story for how our modern world continues to work every day. The most important part. Not all computer chips are the same. Some chips are quite simple. They help machines like washing machines or cars work. These chips are important, but they are not the brain of new technology. The world also uses very complex chips. These are the powerful brain chips. They make artificial intelligence, or AI, possible. They help create things like advanced smartphones and new military tools. Taiwan makes most of these very advanced chips. Data from the U.S. International Trade Commission shows that Taiwan creates about 92% of the world's most modern chips. These are chips smaller than 10 nanometers. This big number shows a dangerous situation for the global economy. It means almost all of the world's most important technology comes from one place. One very important connection shows this. It is the link between TSMC, a company in Taiwan, and Nvidia. Jensen Huang is a co-founder and the CEO of Nvidia. He was born in Taiwan before moving to the United States. His company, Nvidia, makes the powerful chips that drive the growth of AI. These are called GPUs, like the A100 and H100. Every single one of Nvidia's AI chips is made only in TSMC's factories in Taiwan. For example, the H100 chip, which was in very high demand, is made using TSMC's advanced 4-nanometer technology.
Without TSMC's ability to manufacture these chips, Nvidia, which is a very valuable AI company, cannot make its products. Jensen Huang has often spoken about how important Taiwan is. When he visits Taipei for big tech shows, people welcome him warmly. He is seen as a local hero returning home. This relationship is clear. Nvidia creates the designs for the future, but Taiwan physically builds these important parts. The whole modern world depends on what they make together. 3. The team behind the chip. The previous chapters showed how important Taiwan is for making the most advanced chips. But the journey of artificial intelligence, from an idea to a working program, needs much more than just the chips themselves. There is a whole hidden world of companies and skills in Taiwan that make AI possible. We must ask, who builds the huge computers, known as servers, that actually house and run these powerful AI chips? The answer again points to Taiwan. Most of these critical servers are built by Taiwanese companies. Foxconn, formerly known as Han High Precision Industry, is a globally recognized manufacturer. While famous for making most of the world's iPhones, Foxconn also assembles a very large share of the server infrastructure that powers AI. Other important Taiwanese companies, such as Quanta Computer and Wistron, are also key players.
Together, they build a significant portion of the AI servers used by massive data centers owned by tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. When a new AI model needs thousands of hours of computing time, the physical servers making that possible were, in almost every case, designed and put together in Taiwan. One of the biggest engineering challenges for these powerful AI servers is dealing with extreme heat. Imagine a large computer cabinet, about the size of a wardrobe, that generates as much heat as 140 electric kettles, all boiling water at the same time. This is the reality for an advanced Nvidia AI supercomputer rack, like the GB200 NVL72. Standard air cooling methods simply cannot move enough hot air out fast enough. Without proper cooling, these incredibly powerful chips would get too hot and stop working efficiently, or even fail completely. This is where another group of Taiwanese companies becomes crucial. Asia Vital Components, or AVC, based in New Taipei City, is a world leader in thermal management solutions. They make essential parts such as heat pipes, special vapor chambers, and increasingly advanced liquid cooling systems. As new generations of AI chips become more powerful and generate even more heat, liquid cooling is fast becoming a necessary technology. Taiwanese companies like AVC, Oris Technology, Fositech, Delta Electronics, and Lotus are at the forefront of this shift.
Their long history of making cooling components for consumer electronics and servers has given them unique expertise. Beyond the servers and their cooling systems, there is also the complex process of advanced packaging. Modern AI chips are not just single pieces of silicon. They are intricate layers of different parts put together. TSMC has a special technology called CoWoS, chip-on-wafer-on-substrate, that allows multiple compute chips to be stacked and connected very closely. This advanced packaging step is also vital and difficult to master. Taiwanese firms, including TSMC and ASE Group, control a large part of this essential capability worldwide. This entire interconnected ecosystem, from server assembly to advanced cooling and specialized packaging, shows that Taiwan's importance to the AI revolution goes far beyond just making chips. It is a complete manufacturing civilization that is deeply embedded in the digital world's future. This unique concentration of skills and companies makes this specific cluster truly irreplaceable. First, they invested heavily in STEM education: science, technology, engineering, and math. This created many skilled engineers from universities like National Taiwan University. Second, in 1980, the government created the Hsinchu Science Park. This park offered tax benefits and good infrastructure.
It brought together tech companies, research centers, and engineers. This close network helped new companies grow quickly and efficiently. A major turning point came in 1987. Morris Chang, an experienced chip industry leader from the U.S., returned to Taiwan. He founded Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC. Chang had a radical idea, the foundry model. Before TSMC, most companies designed and built their own chips. This was called an integrated device manufacturer, or IDM model. It needed huge investments and forced companies to be good at two very different things. Chang's vision was that TSMC would only manufacture chips for other companies. It would not design its own. At the time, this seemed like a strange business plan, but it was brilliant. The foundry model allowed new fabless companies like Qualcomm, AMD, and later Apple and Nvidia to focus solely on chip design. They did not need to spend billions on factories. TSMC became the world's best at building chips with extreme precision. This model democratized technology, making it easier for many innovative companies to start and grow.
TSMC constantly improved its methods, becoming the global leader in advanced chip manufacturing, especially important as the era of artificial intelligence began. 5. Why moving is hard. It is easy to think that if you have enough money, you can simply move a factory anywhere in the world. But for making advanced computer chips, this idea is wrong. Taiwan has a special advantage, called the cluster effect, that money alone cannot create. Imagine an island where everything needed to build chips is incredibly close. Chip designers can meet quickly with companies that make special materials or test the chips. Engineers can take the Taiwan high-speed rail for just 30 minutes to go from one city to another, like from Taipei to Hsinchu. This allows them to solve problems face-to-face very fast. This physical closeness helps them work together better and quicker than if they were far apart across an ocean. This speed of solving problems and creating new ideas is a secret weapon that cannot be easily copied in another country. Taiwan also has a huge number of skilled people. About 300,000 engineers and technicians work in the chip industry there. Many of them have worked in this field for 20, 30, or even 40 years. This means they have a lot of tacit knowledge. This is special knowledge that is hard to write down in books. It comes from many years of hands-on work, solving countless problems, and seeing how things work every day. This deep human experience is built over generations and is almost impossible to create quickly in a new place. When TSMC opens a new factory in Taiwan, it can find many experienced workers right there. This is not the case elsewhere. Trying to build chip factories in other countries, like the United States, clearly shows these problems. It can cost about 6 times more money to build a similar factory in the US than in Taiwan. This is not just because workers are more expensive. It is also because the US lacks the same network of special suppliers. In Taiwan, hundreds of companies make very specific things needed for chips, like ultra-pure gases, special chemicals, and precise tools. These companies have grown with the chip industry for over 50 years. They work together very closely, like a living system. This close partnership, this metabolic interdependence, means they all breathe in unison with TSMC. This dense network of companies and skilled people does not exist in places like Arizona. So when Western tech giants want new advanced chips, they find themselves in a difficult situation. They depend heavily on Taiwan because there is no other place with this unique combination of closeness, experience, and many specialized suppliers. Even with billions of dollars and strong political will, it would take a very long time to build such an ecosystem elsewhere. Experts say it could take 1 to 2 decades to create even a small part of what Taiwan has.
This is why moving the chip industry from Taiwan is not just about moving machines or spending money. It is about trying to recreate an entire complex civilization of technology and human knowledge, and that is incredibly hard. 6. The big risk. China believes Taiwan is part of its own country. Beijing says it will unite Taiwan with the mainland, even using force if needed. This idea makes many people around the world worried about a big danger. China's army, called the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has held large military exercises. These exercises showed how China could block Taiwan or even attack it. The PLA is getting stronger, with new ships and powerful missiles. Experts believe China's ability to attack Taiwan has grown in recent years. What would happen if China did attack the chip factories? A Dutch company named ASML makes special machines that are very important for making the best chips. These machines are huge and cost a lot of money. Reports say that ASML has the ability to turn off these machines remotely if there is trouble. If ASML machines stop working, the chip factories cannot make advanced chips. TSMC, Taiwan's main chip company, has also said that no one can take control of its factories by force. If there is a military invasion, the factories will not be able to work. Some people in the United States have discussed even more serious ideas. They have talked about Taiwan destroying its own chip factories to prevent China from taking them. This idea is called scorched earth. However, Taiwan's government has firmly rejected such plans as it would cause huge damage to the island's economy. Experts at Bloomberg Economics have calculated the cost of a war over Taiwan. The economic damage to the world would be massive. In the first year alone, the global economy could lose about $10.6 trillion. To understand this, it is more than the cost of the COVID-19 pandemic, the global financial crisis of 2007 to 2009, and the war in Ukraine all put together. It would be the biggest economic crisis the world has ever seen. If Taiwan's chip production stopped, the world would face huge problems. There would be no new iPhones. Artificial intelligence, AI development would halt. Cars would not be built, and important medical equipment would not be made. The global economy would suffer greatly. But China also depends heavily on these chips. China buys many chips from Taiwan. If a war happened, China's own economy would also be badly hurt. Bloomberg Economics suggests China's economy could fall by almost 17% in the first year of such a conflict. So, an invasion would be an act of economic self-destruction for China, too. It is a big risk for everyone. 7. Building new factories. The world began to worry about having all its advanced computer chips made in one place, Taiwan. If something bad happened there, the world's technology would stop.
So countries started looking for other places to make chips. This idea was called China Plus One, meaning companies wanted factories outside of China, and then friendshoring, which meant building in friendly countries. The United States government saw this problem. In 2022, it created the CHIPS Act. This law gave $52.7 billion to help build chip factories and do research in America. This big plan led to more than $450 billion of private money being promised for new chip projects in the U.S. TSMC, the main chip maker from Taiwan, became a big part of this plan. First, they said they would invest $12 billion in a factory in Phoenix, Arizona. Later, this plan grew much bigger. By 2025, TSMC announced it would invest a huge $165 billion in Arizona. This money would build 6 new chip factories, 2 advanced packaging centers, and a research place. The U.S. government helped with a $6.6 billion grant and other loans for the first parts of the project. TSMC also started building in other countries. It opened a factory in Kumamoto, Japan, working with Sony and Toyota. Another more advanced factory is also being built there. In Europe, TSMC is helping to build a €10 billion factory in Dresden, Germany, to make chips for cars. But building these new factories outside Taiwan has many problems. It costs a lot more.
In the United States, building a factory like the one in Taiwan can cost 4 to 6 times more. Workers in Taiwan are used to long days and working on weekends. They have a very strict way of working. American workers have different expectations about work hours and management. This led to some problems and delays in Arizona. American workers sometimes found it hard to get used to the Taiwanese management style and language differences. TSMC even asked new American employees to train in Taiwan for up to 18 months. Also, the U.S. does not have many engineers with years of experience in making advanced chips. The network of suppliers for special materials and chemicals that Taiwan has is also missing in America. For example, a power cut at a gas supplier in Arizona caused TSMC to lose thousands of unfinished chips. Even with all the money and effort, experts say it will take many decades to build an ecosystem like Taiwan's. For the next 10 to 15 years, Taiwan will likely remain the leader in making the most advanced chips. So, for the near future, the world does not have a real Plan B to fully replace Taiwan's critical role. 8. What happens next? The world often talks about Taiwan's important role in making computer chips. Some people call this a silicon shield. This idea says that because Taiwan is so important for chips, no major country would attack it. A war would stop chip making and hurt the global economy very badly. This could even stop powerful countries like China from taking action against Taiwan, because they also need these chips. So Taiwan's chip industry might help keep it safe. However, Taiwan also faces dangers that are not related to war. The island is in an area with many earthquakes. A very strong earthquake, like the one in 1999, could damage chip factories. Also, making chips uses a lot of water and electricity. Taiwan sometimes has dry periods, which means less water. And the big chip factories use a lot of the island's power. These natural issues mean that Taiwan's chip industry is always at risk, even without a military threat. Because of these risks, countries around the world want to make more chips themselves. For example, the United States has passed a law called the CHIPS Act. This law gives money to build new chip factories in America. Other places, like Japan and Europe, are also trying to increase their own chip making. TSMC, the biggest chip maker in Taiwan, is helping with this. TSMC is building new factories in places like Arizona in the United States, Kumamoto in Japan, and Dresden in Germany. This effort to build factories in new places aims to spread the risk. The goal is to make the world less dependent on just Taiwan. But here is something interesting. The company doing most of this building is TSMC itself. These new factories in America, Japan, and Germany are all run by TSMC.
They use TSMC's special methods and knowledge. So the world is still very dependent on TSMC, even if its factories are in different countries. It shows how hard it is to move this kind of special knowledge and skill. For the next 10 years, Taiwan will likely stay the main place for making the world's most advanced chips. Even with new factories being built, it will take many years, perhaps until the 2030s, to build a network of suppliers and skilled workers like Taiwan has. This means that the world's digital future, like the development of artificial intelligence, still relies on this one small island. It is like a silicon heartbeat for the world. This heartbeat is powerful, but it is also very delicate and could stop if something goes wrong. The machines in the clean rooms keep working. Engineers travel fast between cities on the high-speed rail, and the world continues to use these chips for everything, often not realizing how much depends on Taiwan. What do you think is the biggest challenge for the world's computer chip supply in the coming years?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.